I want to just ask you to put in the chat any questions you have that you know you want to make sure we address. Welcome, Eloisa. So we're just putting into chat any questions you want to make sure we address. Time and financial commitment for personal certification track, great. Logistics, day of week, time, cost, last date of payment, accepted for starting. What is the format of the training? Oh, these are all very good questions.
Wish we knew the answer.
We do. We do. We do know.
We know the answer.
We know the logistical answers anyway. Okay, what is the format of the training? Maybe a bit off topic, but can you let us know how to run a genetic matrix when you don't know a person's exact time of birth? Yeah, so we're not going to cover that today, but that is something that we can talk about, and we do cover in the training. And before we go any further, I just want to introduce, did we lose Heidi? Oh, no. So Heidi and Kelly Ruby and Linda are all practitioners and trainers in the training. So if at any point you want to bop into a breakout room and talk to someone personally, we can set you up to do that. Jean Vivi is our tech genie, and he is in the advanced certification training. He's been through the year-long training when it was he's been through the certification training when it was a 12-week immersion, and now we have a year-long immersion. And Eloisa has signed up and has already begun the immersion, so she's going to talk a little bit, about her experience so far. And let's see, there's a few more questions. Let's see, who will best benefit from this education? Wow, that is a beautiful question. So what I'd like to do, first of all, welcome, Polly.
Thank you. I'm really glad to be here.
Really glad to have you here. Oh my gosh. We're going to cover everything, and I'm going to just start by talking for a minute. I'm rubbing off, you're rubbing off against me. So the first thing I want to say is we're doing something new here, which is we have really, we first were doing 12-week courses, intensives, like a language intensive immersion, and then we opened it. People were saying that's too much, too fast. I want to absorb it. I want time with it. So we shifted it to a year long, and we're always tweaking, always upgrading. So people have always had the choice of doing a personal or certification track, but the big emphasis has always been on certification. That remains, but we are also adding like I think I hear a sound, I hear a note, like the music of the spheres. The personal track has always been foundational to the certification track, but now if you do not have that interest in the certification, you do not have to do all the requirements for that. You can deepen into this awakening and human design for yourself. Now, what we are doing, what our intention is to bring more light and love into the world and to be the change that brings heaven on earth. I mean, that sounds lofty, but that is actually the bottom line of what we're up to. So we are looking to wake up to the truth of who we are. Now, there's different levels of engagement in this process. And in Buddhism, we talk about the inner, the outer, the inner, and the secret teachings or practices or levels of teaching. So if we think about on the outer level, we are learning human design. We are learning the awakening principles. On the outer level, if we are going for certification, we are taking those teachings to other people. It's inevitable. You're going to do that on any level. You're going to take it to your family. You're going to take it to your friends. That's kind of the outer foundational level. At the inner level, we're doing our personal work. We're doing the work of seeing what our chart is and who we are in relationship to it, what our distortions are with our chart. How can we live our chart in a more aligned and natural way so that the entelechy, our potential, is enabled to have its life?
Mhm.
And then the way I'm looking at the secret teachings is that as we do this work, this is the heaven on earth, we create a field. It's the unseen realm. It's the frequency realm. We create a field where everything around us shifts because of who we are and the level of work we've done within ourselves. So, I have to say for myself, like doing human design has been amazing, and working with Polly has like taken it to a whole nother level. So the amount of heaven on earth that I'm opening into is ever expanding. Now, I do live in paradise. Okay, I do live on Maui, that is true. But there is also trouble in paradise. Wherever we are, we're up against our karmas, our challenges,
Our wounds.
our wounds. The truth speaker here. So this is fundamentally a journey to meet those wounds with compassion, with love, to bring more light to ourselves and to the world. All right, that's the bigger picture I'm coming from. And the other, I have, if you hang around with me enough, you'll know I have a little bit of a heavy pause, control kind of thing that I do with my one Enneatype, and my learning is to take my trying to control out there off so I can let the slide. What did you say?
It's a slide of light.
The slide of light
Yeah.
happen. That's my journey. That's my work. That's why I do this. We're all exactly where we're supposed to be on the spiral, doing the work we're meant to do. There's nobody who knows more or knows less. It's us and us. This
Yeah.
is a journey of you to you. And where that goes, nobody knows, right? All right. Everyone okay with this so far? We doing okay? Yeah. Okay. Hey, Hilda. Let's see if there's some more people who've joined who I haven't seen. Yeah. Okay, we're good. So I'm going to share my screen and just go through the logistics, unless there's any questions so far. You guys like what we're talking about? Roxanne, you have a question there?
As a 1-3, I want you to get to the nitty gritty.
Right. All of those who have a 1 in your profile, you want the details.
Mhm.
Okay. So I'm going to do this in 3 parts. The first part is just what the offerings are. I'm going to share my screen and go through this. Can you turn the air conditioning on, please, Yarrow? Hang on a second. All right. All right, here we go. So, by the way, on the website is all the information also. So the website is awakeningthroughhumandesign.com. And then it will show you in a very pretty way all the different pieces of this. So let me go over it in my very linear way, and you can always go back to that. So first of all, as I said, this is a personal exploration. First and foremost, we are learning about ourselves and we are learning about each other. This is, we're doing this in community. So we're combining human design and the principles of awakening, and you have the option of being certified as a human design consultant. So there are 12 modules of recorded videos on the various aspects of human design. And I can post this in chat, so you don't have to take notes if you don't want to. Why don't I do that right now so you have that available to you? Give me 1 second. There we go. So each month we focus on one module or area of inquiry and study. So next, in January, we're diving into the gates. We are going to spend an entire month on the gates. So you have access to all the recordings of the whole program as soon as you join, and Eloisa can talk about that in a second. We meet the last Saturday of each month from 7 to 11 Hawaii Standard Time. That's a 4-hour dive into the gates. We have a community forum to share experiences and discover other people's experiences. We are developing a database, a lived database with each other, one another. When you start to hear, I know we used to do this with the Enneagram in the late 70s. We'd have these panels of everyone who was a 1 or a 3, and they would talk. And as you heard them talk, you could recognize for yourself, oh, that's me, or oh, that's my wife, or that's my husband, that's my child. It started to make sense. So as we do this together, there's teachings out there, but the lived experience of them is something that comes through when we come together. And again, I think Kelly and Heidi and Jean Vivi and anyone who's on this call who's been in the training knows what that the value, the incredible value of that. So you're assigned a partner to meet with each month, and you're assigned a small group to study with that we suggest meeting 2 to 3 times a month. There's a Google Drive that has a monthly inquiry process to reflect and ground the human design. And there is a 6-month and end-of-year assessment and meeting with a trainer. This is especially for the certification. And there is a option of having $200 sessions with trainers and practitioners throughout the year. If you pick someone you want to work with, you want to do the 6, you want to work with ongoing, or you want to work with once, or you want to try different people, that's available for you throughout the year. So the classes, like I said, we have the 4-hour immersion on the last Saturday of every month, and those are recorded. If you are certified, going for certification, you need to go to at least 9 of the 12 of those in person. So there are so many things that are available for you, and you can partake of what speaks to you. Again, if you're on the certification track, there are certain requirements with this. If you're on the personal track, what we really would like to see, I'll go over that, but is that you come to the Friday Awakening in Human Design with Polly every other Friday with me and Polly, just like we did in the 9-week course.
Robin,
So
can I
yeah,
get some clarification on these times?
yeah.
Earlier there was a Hawaii time and these say PT. So this is like California time, PT time.
Yeah. Okay, so let me explain why I do that. I know it's confusing, but Polly's schedule never changes. It's always Hawaii time. So anything, and these the 4-hour immersions are also stay the same, Hawaii
Okay.
time.
Okay,
So
so that's not Pacific, that's not Pacific time, that's Hawaii time.
this is 9 to 1. Yeah, but this is actually 7. This is 7 to 11 Hawaii time, 9 to 1 Pacific time. So I put them in Pacific time because most people know Pacific time and they don't know Hawaii time.
Okay, that's what I just wanted to clarify to
Yes,
make sure.
these are Pacific time.
Thank you.
But just for clarity, Pali songs and the Friday classes and I should have put some stars here. This time does not change with daylight savings. That's where we get complicated here. That's what I'm trying to deal with. That's a great question. Thank you for asking. So bottom line is that there are, we have the monthly immersion class, the last Saturday of the month. We have the a relational presence class every other Wednesday. We have an essential oils class every other Wednesday, the opposite Wednesdays. We have a Q&A every Wednesday. So I know this is a lot, but this is what is offered. Everything is recorded, except for the relational presence. I think that's the only thing that's not recorded. If you can't make these times. There's another oil class every Thursday that goes through the transits, the current transits, does a meditation on the current transits. And as I said, every other Friday, there's a meeting with Polly and I like we had every Monday. And there's also a study group on Sunday evenings with Cindy. Any questions so far? Are you trying to unmute Roxanne?
Yeah, I've got questions. I don't know. I mean, I know you're gonna talk more about the difference between the personal and the certification track. And also the people in this year-long training, are they all brand new students or are they students who signed up before who will be joining us?
So that's another great question. So there are students who've been going for 6 months who will be part of this training as well. So, and there'll be students coming in at a later date that will be part of this training. So the small group you're in is this group. That's the you have the personal person you're, the what do they call it? The person you're assigned to be partners with every month is from your group. Is from your group that's starting now. The small group you're in is from this group now. So you will have, there'll be and when we meet on the weekend, on the Friday, on the Saturday, you'll have a time with your group where you are. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thanks.
Okay. All right. So whether you do the personal or the certificate, the fee is the same. It's either 12 monthly payments of 1K each, 12K, or paid in full 10K. So what that includes is the oil kit, all the oil classes, the relational presence classes, my books in paperback. Some of you already have this course, but this is also going to be included for anyone going forward. If you sign up now this week, you can come to the training we're doing this Saturday on the centers, since you've already been through the centers. You also, as an early bird bonus, will get a free human design session with one of the trainers or practitioners. Any questions so far? Good. Lindsay's good. All right. Holly, anything you want to say?
No, this in my early morning time with myself. And just with Yarrow on the way over, it occurred to me that it's a part of the awakening process to realize that uh, if whatever we don't give to ourselves, we can't receive it. It's a kind of aspect of the nature of reality. We are sole source for our experience and for the arising of our sense of our own integrity, our sense of our own presence. All of that's been obscured by our early wounding. And all of that early wounding is more easily accessed through human design. But the bottom line I came with is that if you're not giving to yourself, if you haven't done enough clearing here to choose yourself, then the world or the external can't give it to you. If it gives it to you, you will not recognize it or you won't be able to receive it. I know everybody on this call right now is aware of what I'm speaking, but it just became alive in me this morning. It's give ourselves the sense of our own authority, to give ourselves a sense of our own value. And from that place, the world responds energetically, frequency-wise, to show up in coordination, in cooperation, in collusion, we might say, with our own inner coming home to ourselves. So I think this is the kind of opportunity that the awakening aspect of this course brings about.
Don't you love her? Don't you just love? Where do we get that kind of clarity? You know, I come in, yeah, here are the details. And she comes in with like the expansion of it, the truth of it. It's really, thank you, Polly.
Yeah.
I love hanging out with you. All right, let's talk about the personal journey. And I'll put this in the chat also. Give me a second. And just, I want to really be clear. We are always upgrading and shifting and changing all the time. So, oh, before we do this, I want to just hear from Eloisa before we go to the personal journey. Eloisa, you just jumped in. Can you talk about being on the platform and what your experience is so far?
Yeah, and Polly's comment inspired me to. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Um, you know, I think I can only speak about myself. Everybody's going to make their own decision using their authority, and I think there's divine timing for everybody. But for those of you who are on the fence, I would say that what Polly just said is definitely true for me. That every time there was a big opportunity, for example, I'm a certified yoga teacher. I never practiced yoga, but going through the certification process was just amazing and so beneficial. I'm a meditation teacher trainer. I became a better meditator because I did the meditation teacher training. And there are many programs like that that seemed expensive and a big commitment in terms of time. But I see today that I would be using the time to do other things. I would have prioritized other things. And instead of that, there was this accountability to showing up at these different places that helped me do a lot of deconditioning, introspective work. And so when I wasn't planning to do human design this year at all, actually, I had my first chart reading in 2019 at the same time as astrology and a bunch of other things I was doing. And it was very helpful for me. I think the most benefit that I had, I just dipped my toe into it because I knew how useful it was to know about myself. And of course, I wanted to know about my kids and my husband. And I only knew really just the type and the profile. And that's it. But it's made me such a good parent I know about my kids. I mean, those of you who already know, my kid's a hermit. And if I hadn't known that it was good for him, I would have tried to pull him out.
Yes.
But I knew it was really good. And this is 5 years ago. So as he went from like into junior high and now into high school, I was able to support him through that. My daughter's a 3 and she wants to do everything. And I'm really scared about the things that she wants to do. But I just turned to my husband and I said, she won't get it unless she lives it. I don't really know very much more than that. Now I know more, but at the time, but that was enough to kind of help me guide, be a better. And then about myself, I must say that I did know about myself, the profile and the type. And so I was living trying to respond. And I knew that if I worked on this magnet, this magnet myself, that what would be attracted would be better for me. That's probably the only thing that I kind of worked on during these last 5 years. But I heard Polly and Robin um, during a podcast had this internal yes, like, oh my gosh, maybe I could, and it's only for 9 weeks, so let's try. And I did not think that I would be interested in the 9 year the whole year program because one, it's expensive. And then the other thing is I'm primary breadwinner. I'm a physician, so I work in biotech company with working on cancer research, biotech companies, things like that. And my schedule is full. And so I was overwhelmed to think, oh, I know what it's like to have to memorize a lot of terms. And I said, I that was holding me a little bit. But then what Polly just said just came back and it said, every time, like I get this, like it could be good, but then there's this, oh, but all these other reasons. I knew to trust it, and so I'm taking the plunge. I've already been in the platform and have learned so much, so much. Uh, and this is very self-serving, but I would love for the people that were in the 9 week program to be part of the cohort because I really, what Polly said last time too, I really resonate with. Like, the maturity of the conversations, of the questions that were being asked, the one-on-one sessions that I had, especially with Polly's Sangha, um, what it felt like to me is that these are very wise souls who have been already doing so much deep inner work that I could just feel it. I could just feel it with you guys. Like we didn't know a ton of human design, but I think that as concepts in human design were introduced, like we were able to pin our life experience to that, maybe add context to our life experience. And I want to call out Dominique here because she really, oh my gosh, I healed so much from the session we had, Dominique. Thank you so much. What I felt was that because I had this like, what do you want to say, Eloisa? And one of them was just knowledge is healing, right? Very, very healing. And it allows us to hold difference in love and not fear. That's what I got from the 9 week course. And
Wow.
and what Dominique did for me is who doesn't know she says she doesn't know a ton of human design, but whatever it is, it was her like wisdom that brought out for me was just a wound, like a very deep wound that I wasn't aware that was holding me back. And it was very healing. I felt like this knowledge of the introspection and the context of the human design healed me in my subconscious. Like it went back in time and found the wound and healed it. There was a big shift. Anyway, it's probably more. Oh, and I love the platform.
She loves the platform.
Thank you so much, Eloisa. Wow, that's really, really beautiful.
If we could have known what to hope for all the people in our 9-week course, that was the epitome of it. Perfect, sweetheart. Thank you. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to find this level of community. You can't do it randomly. We're offering this because we know the potency of it. We know the power of the reflection back, just like Eloise was describing. It's so cool.
Yeah, thank you. All right, let me go back to the personal journey. And just go over that. So I know, like I'm saying, Yarrow, I've been wanting Yarrow to do the training forever. And she's just like, it refuses. Let me just be flat out clear. But this 9-week course, she engaged in a whole new level, whole new way. So I kept saying, well, I want the people who like maybe are overwhelmed by the certification training that would like continue with the 9-week course in a deep relational way and give themselves and for you too, Yar, she's sitting here in the room. I'm looking at my beautiful wife. Like continue this process, just like what Eloisa was saying, this like the richness of finding our wounds and in the context of human design, it's crazy what we're doing here, you guys. It's like not happening anywhere else. It's completely, yeah, Linda's nodding. It's completely crazy what we're doing here. And yeah, so the human design personal journey is for you and everybody who's in the training. It's that this is that the inner teachings, right? This is the, well, kind of a mixture of the inner and outer teachings, but
It's at the heart of the matter.
yeah, it's the heart of it is our own work and your own inner authority. So when you're on the personal journey, you're doing it your way for you. We have recommendations, but there's like a buffet and you're going to choose what you eat from. Just saying, we have recommendations, and just saying, if you decide at any point you want to shift to the certification training, you have that option. Of course, I think everyone should just start with the certification training, but I'm trying not to control the situation. So
We'll see how that works.
We'll see how that works. Okay, so when you decide to embark on this journey, you're opening to the process of self-discovery and transformation. So I'm just going to read this out loud. I read this to Polly earlier. This came from, I'm in the middle of an intensive with Polly right now, and these are some of the teachings that came out in that intensive. That we are waking up out of the distortion field of our early wounding, where we installed an idea of ourselves, where we installed a limitation of definition. I'm not good enough. I don't matter. And then we have lived that out. Our first priority is our own awakening to our true nature, which connects us with everything and which gives us the connection through which to experience the aliveness that is the nature of the one I am. That is a mouthful.
It is, yes.
It's a mouthful and it's very powerful. So we're using our human design to see where we have installed limiting beliefs and where we have created distortion fields out of our early wounding. And with the understanding that our human design is the optimum expression of this vehicle, this incarnation, but we've been living out the distorted version of it. This is classic human design, right? Living out our not self. So here we're bringing in this awakening and this classic human design. So this is a path of liberation, of coming home to the truth of who we are. And walking this path in community opens unimaginable portals to understanding ourselves and one another. We heard that with Eloisa. So, Ram Dass, dear friend, we are walking each other home. We do this in community. You can get all the outer teachings, all the information online through books. You can do that. If that's what you want, that's where you belong. If you want to do get the inner teachings of human design and awakening, that is the offering that we have here, along with those outer teachings. So what you put into it is what you're going to take away. And the invitation on our end is to give you to you. So this is, again, we're claiming our inner authority, being on your own behalf. So here's kind of the buffet of opportunities, and it's up to you to partake in what you know. So we recommend that you attend the monthly immersions. So that's the 4-hour on the last Saturday of every month. That you watch the videos for each model pertaining to the aspects of the chart and the principles of awakening. So as I said, in January, the chart principles are going to be the gates. We're going to invite you to watch the video of each of the gates in your chart. Get to know the ground, the streams that run through you. Are you on the high side of them? Are you on the low side of them? What distortion fields have you created out of those? That's the inquiry process we're going to spend a month looking at. Anything you want to say
Well,
there?
not to be too esoteric, but the choice, and this is just I call my ways of seeing things kindergarten models, but the choice of the incarnating vehicle, which is the human design, can't be expressed fully until you are aware of the limitations of the woundedness, the limitations of the limited self idea, but seeing what's potential there. And the experience here, I had my human design done in 1999. I heard about it. I thought it was brilliant. I understood that understanding the vehicle could be very potent and powerful. And I came into my sacral response, which was very helpful in my journey of awakening, which didn't occur until 2010. But the awakened human design is living in the fullness of your own self-valuation, your own self-expression. The way that my life is that it's arising like an artesian well and overflowing with abundance and peace and harmony and connection and love. So the importance of understanding the vehicle through which you're expressing opens naturally into that expression is on behalf of your awake awareness. So this is when Robin and I first started considering this, it was like it came alive in me what this offering would be and where people would end up that could change reality. There she goes again.
That is the ultimate. If we had a goal or
Yeah.
an aspiration,
We don't though.
No, we don't. But if we did, that would be it.
Yes.
The shifting of reality, heaven on earth.
Yes.
That is the bottom line here. Shifting out of the. We've been thrown out of the garden, out into our minds, coming back into our hearts.
Perfect.
Okay, so continuing on the details for Roxanne specifically, and everyone who has a first line profile.
Roxanne's used to my carrying on.
Yeah. So watching the videos, that's the human design part. That's that outer teaching part. And then the inner teaching is doing the inquiry. So we have a Google Drive with the inquiry questions. You meet with your partner, you work with your small group to do these inquiries about yourself and about your chart. So they help you look more deeply at your human design. If you're going to be giving sessions or sharing chart information, this gives you a ground for that. So we also recommend that you meet with your practice inquiry group 2 to 3 times a month. My suggestion would be you meet on the opposite Fridays. So you have a specific time, you just know you meet. But that's up to you, whatever works for you. and that you meet with your partner at least once a month. You could meet weekly with your partner if you wanted. This again is what do you need? What do you want? What's your hunger? What's your capacity? You know, if you're a projector, it might be very different than if you're a manifesting generator. I don't know. It's up to you. It's your knowing. So come to the Awakening in Human Design Friday bi-weekly classes with Polly and myself, or listen to the recordings that are posted in the community forum if you can't make it live. We do have a community forum. We ask, again, this is a rich database for you to have a voice, for you to hear other voices, learn from other people. So we like this to be an alive space. It didn't really come alive in the 9-week course, but I think this will be easier for you in this course. So commenting on your partner's post, another post for each module. Again, this is recommended. If you want to keep a journal of your reflections in the Google Drive or on your own, if you put it in the Google Drive, we can see it and we can be in response to it. We like you to do again, it's not required, but this is what we're asking, recommending that you complete a self-evaluation midway and at the end of the year. So as you're called, come to the relational presence calls, the human design essential oils calls, the Q&A, Polly Satsangs calls are included in this, the Sunday study group with Cindy. Any questions so far on the personal track? Yes, Lindsay.
Thank you. So if you start out with the certification, you're also have
of
available
this.
and doing,
Yes.
yeah, you're doing it all. So
You're
really
doing
what
it
you're
all.
just saying is if this is overwhelming and if you have no interest in the certification, you can just do it for the personal. But-
Yes, exactly.
Okay, got it.
With the certification, I'll go over that next. There's actual requirements of this. With the
Gotcha.
personal, these are not required. These are recommended.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. And I just want to be clear that if you're on the personal track and you shift at some point to the certification track, there's a fee, an administration fee, because we need to have people going over all your material for the certification track. So there's $100 fee for each month or module that you make up after the fact. So if you're 6 months through and you say, I can see how I could use this. I could actually, I want to be certified. I want to be on the website. I want to take this into the world. That's great. You can do that. You have to make sure you do all of the requirements for that, but you can do that. Any questions here? Anything, just checking in, Kelly, Heidi, Linda, anything any of you guys want to say before I go to the certification track? Are we good? Heidi.
I just wanted to say that I started 5 years ago with Robin, and I had no intention in being certified. And the program was much less differentiated than it is now. She really upgrades like in every moment. But what I wanted to say is that that did happen for me. Learning new things is hard, and there were so many layers, and I got overwhelmed with human design, and I kept staying with it. And I did reach a point where I was like, I could do this. And so I just want you to know that this is very possible that you might be taking it for the personal and want to make that shift and to hold space for yourself, because if I could do it, you can do it.
Thank you, Heidi. Yeah. A lot of us have, I'm not saying that you guys do, have resistance to the human design, the magnitude of the human design information. And just full disclosure, I do not cover all the rabbit holes of human design. We do not do that. We stick with what's relational and what's my wheelhouse. Let's just put it that way. And I highly recommend you, in your own investigation, you're going to be called to your own rabbit holes with it. And then you're going to bring what you learn back to the group. We're all in this together, but you will get a solid foundation of yourself, understanding yourself, and from the human design aspect, and a deep year-long process with Polly on the awakening. We have never done this before. This is brand new.
Yeah, the correlation between human design as the vehicle and the awakening as the optimum expression through that vehicle has just been inspiring to me and Robin, and to the potential for what that means for this reality. Here she goes again. So it's like, shut her up, shut her up.
No.
But it's just the combination was just, it was like this huge light occurred in me, because I had such a real a real appreciation for human design as it informs, or is the vehicle for this incarnation. But the awakened version of that takes you to the natural expression through that. So awakening, as we see what the design is, if we were not wounded, we would be in full expression of our human design. There would not be a distortion field. Yeah, but that's not a condition that's very often experienced in this incarnation, that's based in polarity and fear. So we are at we're at the front lines, I should say, the front lines of a shift in frequency that comes from authentic living from one's design, and the fulfillment of that is unexpected and surprising. Yes.
Yeah, so I saw your hand, Linda. Let me just say one thing first before you go, which is that I'm looking here at Katie, and I'm thinking of Carol, who do the Anat Banyel work. They work with kids with special needs, and like, maybe you don't want to like have human design be your thing, your coaching thing. But you do maybe can see where it could have an impact. If I knew the parents' human design, if I knew the kids' human design, how might I approach them differently? I know Yara and I used to run, when we were doing that work, we used to run all the kids' charts. I wish we would have run the parents' charts. And it was really helpful for us. So think about your world and how it might infiltrate, and then be open to how it might take you places you never even imagined, completely never even imagined. Okay, Linda.
Robin, I don't know if this is the right time to say this, but I'll start, and if you think I should hold it, I can. But and also I do want to respond to what you just said, because human design is not my main thing, but it's completely opened up the work that I do with couples. It's just radical, and it's a foundational piece. So it's just expanded capacity to work with people. What I wanted to say is that before I came into your program, I had studied for 10 years with someone else, and it was great. It was great. I had a really solid foundation. And I came into this, and everything changed, because this program is relational. I have learned more from coming together with other students and sharing our experiences. I mean, I love the videos and I eat them up, but it's that interaction in the Q&A and, and with Polly, it's just, I've learned, I mean, I've just gone into a whole new understanding of human design. It's like the air I breathe now. And I was a little bored. And now it feels like it's an unending process of discovery. And I'm just hungry to keep going. So
Thank you, Linda. I love that. That it is an unending process of discovery, and we are in it together. It's like awakening, right?
It's alive.
It's alive.
Yeah.
It's alive. We're alive. We're in it alive together. So good. Thank you so much, Linda. All right, I am going to share the certification requirements for those of you who are like, what are those certification requirements? Here we go. And I see you came on video, Crystal. Nice to see you. Love when we have projectors on the call. Love our projectors. And I'll just say, Crystal did the certification training when it was a 12-week training, and she is a techie. And she came in with the idea of, I want to bring this to people in the tech world who may be changing their jobs because of the new world that's happening. And it just keeps morphing, doesn't it, Crystal? It keeps morphing. How you're going to bring this, what this is, what the offering is going to be.
It's
Do you want to say
hard
anything? Yeah.
it's hard to pinpoint it because I've been on Twitter and Blue Sky creating a community of people who are studying human design, but also doing sessions with people. And the different kinds of analysis and the things that they're talking about are far beyond what we've discussed in class because, again, it's so relational. And I think I enjoyed that part. And I thought what I wanted to do, I think I still want to do that, but I think there's just so much more. This work there's a lot of different parts that you can really take and break apart and turn it on its head. And so, yeah, I don't know yet. It's still forming itself, but I love this stuff. It's like different puzzles when we're looking at each other and we're looking at each other's charts and seeing how we fit together.
Yeah. Thank you, Crystal. All right, let's look at the certification. Can you guys see it? Did it happen? No. Okay.
No, it's your Word document for
Okay.
people.
All right. I did just put it into the chat. So let me share it here. Okay. So here we have the certification requirements. So again, I said, if you're on the personal track, you just go with the personal track, and if you want to shift over, there's $100 fee for each month that you make up assignments. So on the certification track, and when you come through the certification, maybe you've looked at the website, you see we put people up on the website. There's a lot of support that goes beyond the personal track, and there is the potential for being in the advanced training and the potential for teaching, the potential for doing trainings. So when you attend, the first requirement is to attend the monthly immersions. So we recommend you attend all 12, but you can miss up to 3. If you miss them, you have to watch the recordings and do the inquiries in those. And you need to complete that section within that month. That is the thing. Everybody is working on the gates. There's homework, and you do all that work within that month. So you watch the assigned videos, you have the charts of the people you know with you, so you can ground the information. Again, this is all relational. We are not just giving you an information dump. We are bringing it into relationship. So complete the integration inquiry assignment for each of the 12 modules. They're due by the Saturday a week prior to the last Saturday of the month, so that we have time to look them over and bring whatever knowledge, whatever questions come up to the immersion. Mark your assignment complete. Again, if you do not complete an assignment, there's a fee each month that you do not complete it. So these assignments are the foundation of giving sessions. They take time. They're totally worth it to do this work. So you can work with your partner. You can come to Sunday evening study sessions if you need support. So another requirement is to meet with your practice or inquiry group 2 to 3 times a month. So you'll be in a small practice inquiry group, and We'll give you processes to follow both with human design and with the deconditioning and the awakening. Meet with your partner at least once a month. You'll be given a new partner each month, and there's instructions in the Google Doc what to do with your partner. Post your reflections in the community forum, comment on your partner's post and one other post for each module. If your partner doesn't post, we have that happen sometimes, post on a second person's post. Optional but highly suggested, post reflections on the Google Drive journal so we can see what your journey is and you can keep track of it. Attend a minimum of 6 essential oil classes and post your experience in the community forum. Attend a minimum of 6 relational presence classes. A relational presence is foundational to the work we do. It brings you into the now. So that is really important if you're going to be certified. Complete the required sessions. So as you come to the last 3 months of your training, we'll give you a protocol for giving sessions and working with people and give you what you need to do to complete those. And one of those will be a recorded session that you turn in. You complete the self-evaluation at the midway point and at the end of your year. You meet with the trainer midway and at the end of the year, and you track your own certification requirements. So each month you have to track, we'll have a chart and you'll put in, yes, I did this, yes, 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 so that we know where you are on your journey. Any questions on that? Roxanne? No? Come on. You gotta have a question for me. All right. So as you know, we are always, as Heidi has said, and I've said, we are always up leveling. Both Polly and I are generators. We're in response. Oh, there's Roxanne. She does have a question. Here it comes.
Yay.
I knew it.
Yeah, there one question that popped into my head was, because I just did the 9-week training. So this training it'll all be brand new for me. I mean,
The centers you will get, there are different, there's a module, there's a full month on the center. So we'll do another circle around to the centers, but everything else will be new.
okay, yeah, right. Okay, yeah. So I mean, what I meant was it'll be all new videos, right? It's
You have not watched the videos.
okay. All right.
You have not watched the plethora of videos that await you.
Okay, and then the other question I have now, and while I was listening, it became clear to me if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do the certification. It's like,
right?
yeah, I mean, yeah. So and then I guess we have to have an interview with somebody.
Yep.
beforehand?
Yep. You'll set up an interview with me.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Let's see. How many hours of videos per month? Okay, Miss Katie, let me just explain something to you. That we did this course in 12 weeks prior to this. Why aren't I seeing you, Katie? There you are. So everybody had 1 week to watch the videos and do the homework.
Wow.
Right? You have a month. You have a month. There are anywhere between, it depends on what we're studying, anywhere between an hour and a half to 4 hours of videos. If you're doing the gates, you're not, you could watch every gate video, but you might not want to do it that way, right? You want to do it in relationship to your chart and your partner's chart, your partner in the program's chart. You're going to be working with them, with the people in your group's chart, with your husband's chart, with your child's chart. That it's relational. It's not just an information dump.
It's like, how does this work?
Yeah.
For me, with him or her. Yeah.
And the videos are available on they're on your phone. You can get them on your phone. You can, yeah, they're easy. Yeah, Eloisa?
Katie, that was a concern of mine too, because of my schedule. So you have access now. Like I've been digging into the videos since I got access. So I've been able to watch them. And Robin says, it's not enough to watch the videos. So I think the bulk of the work is just scheduling time to do the assignment, to actually follow. Because if all I do is watch the videos and I'm not doing anything different than what I was doing before. The question and answer videos are really good because they inspire me to do the work. And then people bring in, and thank you. I think I forgot to say how much I have enjoyed the platform. And Roxanne, there's a ton of new things. Like I'm just like in awe. I think it was Crystal that said it was like group therapy. Oh my goodness. I started like calculating and I said, actually, this course is pretty economical considering how much
Therapy.
intensive work is there. So yeah.
For what you want. Again, projector may like take bites. Someone else, a manifesting generator, may take a fire hose, you know, and you have access to it. You have access to it. It's not like, okay, we're done with that module, it's over. No, you have access to all that material. Is there a concern, Katie? I'm wondering if there's a more of a concern there with that, or what the concern is with that.
My concern is because I didn't know how many hours it would be, and sometimes it's like a concern between being present as a mom and showing up and being present for a class. Being a mom is my first commitment. And I want to be a better mom, but I don't like to have a commitment that infringes upon being able to show up when I'm asked to show up for my daughter. That's why I always want to be in Polly's class, but it's always I have to show up for Amelie. And so I'm just debating that aspect.
Polly, you have a thought there?
Well, I think that the operative word being think, which is all of our downfalls, right? It's like, too bad you're thinking. No, the awareness of the malleability of my attention, that is always operative in you and all of us. But as we allow the relief of our minds pressure with our thoughts and our with identity thoughts. I'm the mom, I'm the wife, I'm the breadwinner, I'm whatever. It's like the reality is in a lived experience. Just like it sounds to me like you were pointing to our Wednesday satsang, you know, if it comes up that that's the time for you to be with Amelie, then that's what happens. It's an unfolding. It's always more of a dance than of a mechanical kind of control, the need for control. So being kind to ourselves and more and more of the teaching right now from me and the groups that I do has to do with what I call the field of allowing. And it's this allowing space that makes everything arise and be received or be put aside. It's this gentleness and this ongoing experience of our own presence with what is, instead of our experience of the limitation of our fear-based mind. That is the awakening path. So it's that's the practice here. This is not to try to convince you to do anything more. but to notice that your mind is a big part of the pressure that you feel, because the reality is that you're always going to be, Amelie will always be your first priority and your first choice for being with her and the ways but I don't know if you've noticed this, and you and I haven't talked about it, but I suspect as Amelie gets older, and I've had such a delightful awareness of her and you and Jay. So it's like as she gets older, her life becomes more hers, and your life is that ongoing presence and support. It always is changing, which is the wonderful trajectory of being a conscious parent, which you certainly are that. You know?
Thanks, Polly.
Yes, sweetheart.
Thank you, Katie. Any other questions, thoughts, wonderings? Dominique, you want to say something?
Unfortunately, since I had to miss a lot of it because of a doctor's appointment, can I review this? Can I get a video of this?
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
Great, thank you. That's all.
Yeah, you're welcome. I do want to say one thing. I'm sitting here looking at Kelly Ruby, who's been quietly sitting here, and I know I introduced her in the 9-week course, but you don't know, we don't know where anything is going to go and take us. I mean, human design with you, Kelly Ruby, has like opened into this wild world of looking at the chart and people's time of death. Like, I mean, is that incredible or what?
Who knew?
Who knew? Right, Kelly?
Yeah, because I think I started working with Robin. We met through our publisher, and I started working with Robin seeking something to sell, like finding confidence to sell something and having kind of a mentor. I wanted someone that I could learn from in other ways. So I wasn't necessarily drawn to human design. I was more drawn to Robin. And then the human design was how I got more time with her. And then what I've done is, because I'm like Katie, I have a career, and I've had a career the entire time my kids have been small, but my kids and my family, those were my number one. My kids are now 19 and 17, so I'm like starting to see all the investment I put in them. But so I came into the program, willing to learn, and I was in that accelerated 12-week program, and I'm telling you, it was really hard family wise because I feel like I was always doing schoolwork, which became kind of a, people in my house didn't like that. They didn't appreciate how much I was devoting to schoolwork. It was like drinking from the fire hose, and it, continued just the depth of information that you're getting. And like, it was a different language. I didn't know how to speak it, but I just got in there, and just being around it helped me a lot. But then as we were doing things, instead of because I don't love labels. And even now, like I will be like, when people start speaking too much human design talk with me, I'm like, oh. But I guess some of my classmates have said that's okay because you embody it and you live it so much. You don't need the labels. It just kind of comes out. So I've taken what I've learned with human design and the different ways of thinking about things that we've learned in the program, working with Robin and then working with Polly. And I've gone down my own path with the information and my education I have elsewhere, and kind of created my own thing. Like, I don't do straight human design sessions. I work with people who've lost loved ones or who are, in the process of losing a loved one, help them build a relationship with that person that they lost. And we do it through human design transits, because it was just kind of, I think I went to a human design conference, and April, I can't remember her name, some Australian lady was doing transit work, talking about the creation of like the United States and what was going on with the transits when that was happening. And it just kind of dawned on me. I was like, oh, you could do that for the day that somebody died. And, I started doing these sessions, had no structure, just had, practice working with Robin in the program and kind of how we structured things with, we were taught how to do sessions there, not as an information dump, but as kind of a relational thing, conversational, which is how I work better with people. So I had my first session with a person. I had no idea how this was going to go. I just knew she was game for talking about her dad, who had died like 20 years ago. And it just came to me and it flowed. And it was so weird just using kind of the human design, the body graph and the transits. And it just kind of settled in with me. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about the program is that there's no, and working with Robin and all the other people that are in the program, there's no predetermined, like you're not going to be doing X, Y, or Z when you get out. You can, but there's this flexibility. Like she has it set up so you can be certified. You never have to do it for work. You can do it for work. You can do straight human design stuff and really get into it. Or you can be like me, who I do a lot of human design work with people, but they don't know we're doing human design work. Like I even will
That secret path, that secret path.
yeah, it's like I call it a pump fake, I think, in football, where the quarterback
Yes.
goes to throw the ball one direction and everybody runs that direction, but they really throw it the other direction. I do that. You think we're going to be working on this stuff, but we're really working on this stuff, kind of a thing. And the program has really allowed me to grow in that. So, and still like learn about my family, learn about myself, learn a lot about the people in my life that I've lost. So it's been a beautiful experience, challenging and enriching and connecting. So, yeah.
Thank you, Kelly Ruby. Whew, okay, I think unless there's any more questions, anything else you want to say, Polly, as we,
I think it's good. Yeah.
I think we're really good.
Robin.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, Roxanne, let's hear from Roxanne.
Yeah, so yeah, on the website it says it kicks off December 13 to 15, or when do we actually start?
Well, no, I
the
think
weekly
that
class.
should have been rectified this morning. Here, let me say. So that is one of the bonuses. If you sign up this week, you can come to the class on the 13th,
Okay.
Which is part of
what
your
class?
prior.
which is on the centers. It's so let me just explain. When we started the year long, we initially had it in 4 quarters. So you would study 3 different modules in 3 months. And then we'd have a 3-day intensive on those 3 modules. That did not work. People procrastinated. We thought we were giving people space to have time with it, but people did the crunch thing. That's why we shifted it to once a month, meeting once a month. So this is the last of that 3-day weekend, but you guys have already studied the centers, so we're inviting you to that centers. Yeah. So that's the bonus.
Okay, so yeah, so we can attend that and then we start officially in January or
Yes.
Okay.
But you will get the program, like Eloisa said.
I
You
get it
will
now.
get it as soon as you sign up, you get the whole platform.
Right. Yeah, I'm just wondering when we actually start and when we start meeting, on those Wednesdays and Fridays.
Yeah, that starts in January for you.
Okay.
But you have so much information, as Eloisa is saying. There's a whole library of Q&As. There's a whole library of oil classes. And as soon as you sign up, we'll send you the oil kit. We'll send you the books. Yeah, you right away, Christmas.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Any other questions? And also you can sign up for a session with someone as that early bird bonus. Hyde.
Yeah. So, Jean-Vivi, I hope it's okay that I use you for an example. Jean-Vivi is my husband, and I've been doing human design for 5 years, and I made a commitment that when I started my private practice as a therapist, I was going to do everybody's chart, every new client's chart. And I don't, kind of like Kelly, they don't always, it's that football thing. They don't always know it, but what I'm doing or how I'm asking questions that will access their alignment with their design, it doesn't matter. Some people are curious. I give them the option. I give them Robin's book. But what I wanted to tell you is that my husband has kept human design at arm's length all these years. Like, it's my thing. And recently Robin invited him in to be the tech support. And he is a very intelligent person. And the way so it was tricky for him on that 12-week course. The way in for him were the essential oils. That was a non-intellectual, embodied access where he started feeling something different. And he could probably share it better than me, but I know there's a time thing. I just want to say that those oil classes, both the every other Wednesday and the Thursday night, well, for us, were game changers for Jean-Vivi. I just wanted to share that.
Heidi, I so appreciate you say that because we haven't really been clear on that. This is not an information dump. Yes, we're dealing with the left brain material, but we're also approaching the human design chart from a very right brain energetic place. So you're connecting to the chart from an energetic place, learning about your gates with the oils, learning about your centers through the oils. It's very powerful. It's incredibly powerful.
And if I might add one more thing, I know this doesn't quite fit with you, Katie, with Amalie. But my daughter is 24, and she also has been quite resistant to having anything be told about who she is to her. And so I backed off and just honored it. But her peers and other people were very curious about human design. So she started getting more curious. And just recently, she had an aha. She's an emotional generator. So it's an authority thing that you don't know yet. But how she makes the timing of how she makes decisions came into play. And she waited before she made a decision about something and got more information. She's a 1-3, Roxanne. And it made such a difference for her. And she's like, oh my God, this is what it's like to be aligned with my design. So you just never know how things are going to land. And we're now a family of human design.
Thank you, Heidi. Yeah, Lindsay.
Oh yeah, so I just wanted to share this. When Katie, when you were talking about time, because so I've worked with Polly over the past 3 years, and I have noticed especially the choices and the things that I've done in the last year, but my relationship with time has changed, my relationship with money has changed, my relationship with my relationships have changed, and it's just so hard to understand and quantify how much fuckery the distortion is. And as we unfold that and really go through the forgiveness work, the 6 steps, and understand, which then the human design helps give us access and helps us see those places. But it just has been so, and I'm new to human design, I think probably in the last 6 months or so, but it's like it just is so, as the clarity comes, with the clarity you realize then how distorted life has been and how distorted I viewed and experienced, including money, including time, and then the pain that comes with those things and the pain with parenting, whatever. And so just whatever it is that your path is, to just relentlessly follow that and follow wherever the light sends you in that, because that's where the expansion is And it's just incredible when the distortion starts to clear.
Beautiful.
Wow. Thank you, Lindsay.
I've already said a lot, but may I say something?
Sure.
So I've been meditating with you know, a pretty intense pranayama for about 10 years. So the deconditioning process and all that happens during that time is not new to me. And I have found that it's been very important to have community as the deconditioning is taking place and to be guided by people who have done the work themselves. And as I have, I think, evolved and grown and cleared my filters, the communities that I am attracting are different. And this time, the divine brought, I'm going to say, Robin into my life because I had been doing different layers of and types of work and explored a lot. And when I read her book and I read her life story, I really found in her a fellow, sort of like a wise elder who has gone through what I'm living right now. And everything that, so I'm looking also in this year-long course for what wisdom, and then of course Polly coming in and bringing in the Polly, what you brought in for me was to not get lost in the material aspects of it, right? So as I'm getting through I'm going through the deconditioning, it's really brought me into my wounding, and it's made me have a relationship with the wounding that attaches me to the wounding I have seen. And I feel like both things are important. It's important for me to understand what is there, like an archaeologist going into the subconscious and finding new things. But what I feel Polly adds is to a constant reminder that I am not that ultimately, that I am the field of love. I am the field of awareness. And if I start putting labels on what's happening and I get too attached to it, there that's why this is perfect for me, because you guys both show up. It's like, okay, let's do some archaeology. Okay, let's step back and remember that it's the mother, we are the field. We are the love that holds difference.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you, Eloisa. That's really beautiful. Wow. Any last words from you, Miss Polly?
No, I think I've said everything, although she does talk a lot. Is that my design? It's not my fault. No, the possibility of this community is probably the brightest light that is available from participation, because it is unique. It is radical. And what radical means is going to the root. And that's what human design is about, going to the root of the vehicle. I often point to human design as being the operating manual for this vehicle. But having that, it's like I have friends now who are getting these new cars that are hybrid or that have languages in terms of their interface with them, and they're like, oh my God, it's only showing me French. I'm English. How do I get that? So this vehicle can be a mystery to us, but coming to see what it is mechanically, human design or the mechanics of the vehicle. And then from that sense, we are no longer in response reaction to the limitation of that particular vehicle issue, like a gate that we're in resistance to, like a channel that is not operative. And so the combination was that was the baby that came from me and Robin being together over the last 5 years. Yeah, and it's really exciting because it does portend a new heaven, which is our inner experience, that's the heaven, and a new earth, which is the external manifestation of a frequency shift. And that's what this is about, a shift in frequency. Yes.
Yeah. So I am putting my email in the chat. Robin at clients and humandesign.com. If you would like to schedule an appointment with me, I think I put the application in one of these. Let me pull up the application. Here's the application. It's not letting me do it. Okay, here we go. Here's the application you can send in, and we'll set up a time. And again, if you do it now, you can come to the course this Saturday. And we would love to be in community with you on this journey.
Yes.
There's nothing better in our world than to share this journey with you, this journey of awakening. And what I found from Polly and working with Polly, because I've done many intensives with you, and I'm in the middle of one right now, the more we're in it, the more we shift. It just happens that way. So big invitation to step into this field of love, this field of awakening, this field of using human design to shift your life and the lives of the ones you love. All right. Thank you so much. Look forward to hearing from you, and
Yes. Aloha.
aloha.